All right, so once you get through the pop-up installer, I've been kind of playing around with these different options, and it wasn't very clear what some of these were in the main tutorial. So trying to fill in the gaps and based on some of the things that I've learned from some other videos as a whole. So the first thing, the topper, if you've got the same setup, you might even have this LCD screen on the lock bar. But you do want this to be always on top. Actually, as I'm doing this, just messing around with the settings, and I've got to do this. Basically, in this default, we're going to say show always. And let's see, the DMD. Okay, the reason why for this clip here is the topper I put on the middle screen there. And then the DMD 4.1 I also put on the DMD screen. Basically the top part is the popper, or the topper, and the bottom part is the DMD, equally spaced there. And the back glass is just the back glass. The playfield is just the playfield. The music, you want that to be full screen on the back glass itself. I suppose you could put it on the DMD as well. Actually, I'm probably going to put it on the DMD. I guess some tables utilize that as a screen. So I'm putting the music on the DMD, the center as well. The apron full DMD, that's also full screen on the DMD, the middle one. The game select I put on the apron, or the lockdown bar. The loading screen I put on the table, like the playfield. And other two, game info and game help, I also put on the lockdown bar. Hope that helps. No other changes happened on the screen other than the topper was set to always. All right, starting to go through some of the miscellaneous setups that I'm looking through. If you go to the VPin folder that you just installed, and then go to Visual Pinball VP main, there's a file that says setup64.exe in that folder. If you want a color DMD, what we're going to do is go to this pop-up here, click on the setup defaults, and then check the colorize DMD. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Colorize DMD checkbox. All right, so I've got a table up. I'm kind of doing this manually at the moment. This is through the tables folder. I've got the tables back glass and the table here. So I've got the back glass, I've got a DMD showing up, and I've got this guy. Now I've installed DOF, and all I've done is just like run it. So I see the folder in the C drive. So now I'm kind of wondering, maybe I've got to install DOF links next, but at least we got progress going. Not quite sure what to do next to get these LEDs on, but if you have any suggestions, let me know. So I went back to that Arduino app, and I ran the basic test. What I mean by that is I went to, let's say, file, examples, and then that basic test. I just hit that checkbox. It wasn't doing anything until I pushed the little button on the Arduino, or Octo, whatever this is. That was blinking. I pushed that button and then magic just happened. So I don't know, one step is better than no step. So I don't know, we've got stuff happening, but I don't know what is actually happening. I'm sure there's settings here that I've got to do to test here, but I didn't change anything to the script itself. I just ran it, and I think it's running like the first 120 some LEDs or something. You can see the bottom stuff isn't actually working, but we've at least got power, so that's awesome. Playing with the basic test again in the Arduino. Basically, if you go to File, Examples, and then the Octo, select Basic Test, when that script comes up, you're going to find that there's a row of code that says the LED number. It's set to 120, but if you change this to 520, and then hit the check mark in the Arduino app, once you push the white button on the teensy there, this test will start coming up here. So right now I'm just trying to test out the LEDs as a whole, and it's filling things up left to right on the matrix. It took a little time. There was a delay in getting the full bar on the right to populate, and then it kind of waited a few seconds, and then the left side can completely populated. So now I've got the full matrix filling up from left to right. You can kind of see it ticking away there. So the left and right play field is 100%, and the HD matrix is 100%. So now all I've got to do is figure out how to get the underlighting test and the back glass or behind it tested, as well as the speaker LEDs. All right, I've got a few minutes setting up the Amos tool again on the matrix channel 3 on this thing here. I'm following the tutorial, and you were saying exactly as described. The HD matrix seems to be maybe slightly altered needing. I've got 32 across and then 16 high, and then I'm trying to figure out, that seems like it's going up to down and then left to right. So for it to be I guess different than what the way the wrench is doing, his are going the other way. His are going well, let's see if I can get in here. His are going that way, and then it's going down. I think it was up to down, so it's going that way. Mine's going the opposite for what it is. But he also had a different LED like set. His, I think he put 8x16, I want to say. Like he's got not these HD matrix. He's got these like thicker bulbs. So I was wondering if this is true, that the only thing that is potentially different than what is in his video is this channel 3. I'm still toying with the LED arrangement, but just wanted to check. All right, so this step's a bit of a nightmare. I'm on the flashing, the teensy step. Basically, I followed the way of the wrench video a couple times, and there's just a multitudes of way to flash this thing, I guess. And eventually I think I just got lucky, maybe. I still don't know if this is 100% set up yet. So right now, when I start the PC, this here doesn't necessarily flash, but it will, like a third of this panel, a third of this panel, and a third of this panel will be completely filled up in a block. And then these will blink like one time, and then everything shuts off as the computer's coming up. What I also notice is the teensy is, it's blinking right now on this test program, but when the PC turns on, it's not blinking. So that might be leading to a good sign if you run into the similar issues. I still don't know if this is actually set up yet, but I'm finally getting, something displayed in here. Looks like a quarter or a third of the side is filled in, and then there it's filled in. I still don't have the back box or the underlighting showing yet, but I'll show you what I did here to get this far. So in the direct output folder. We're looking at the direct output config tester app. I opened that, and then what did I do? I just had I just selected a game from the drop down at the bottom, and then I put in the path for the global config file. As soon as that was selected, I pushed OK, and then I selected activate all down at the bottom here. And when I did that, that's what I see now. So progress. I still don't know what I'm doing. I'd like to test the under lighting and the back box lighting, so then I can start throwing away all kinds of the Amazon trash. So then I'll have everything 100% working. Got progress here. I went to the direct output config tester. I just opened that up because that's what the Cleveland troubleshooting site was showing. So I clicked that, and then I clicked activate all, basically after selecting the global config file, and I just selected a random game. So I get this, so that's awesome. First time that I've gotten to this this far here. So that leads me to believe that now if I go to the back glass, if the plugin does not display there, then I know it's something to do with the plugins, because this global test thing out of the DOF folder it's working. So I'm opening up Getaway as the table. I think DOF is finally set up, and you can see it's kind of like blinking on the side there. If I hit the flipper, I've kind of got that sort of action going, and that is pretty much it. I've got a color DMD there. I hope this is right. So let me see. If I launch, it's kind of going nuts there. That's kind of cool. I think it did it. All right, I finally got all the LEDs all situated, and what I was having a problem with was the speakers. They were not on. What I had to do is this here is the clip that's coming out of the speaker. Here, that's the clip, and then here is, let me see if I can see it here. Basically the clip here, like on these little pigtails here, the clip needs to be on the outside here. And then the female is over here, you know, the flat sort of side. The one with the prongs and the clip is here. And that needs to be connected to the end, which was the brown wire. The problem that I was having is in the tutorials that I was doing, I was plugging in the female, the flat, like it was connected to this, and I was putting it into the other one here. So I wasn't getting any LEDs. So once I took another one of those pigtails and I basically snipped off the female end, which is, you know, right where that was. So then I just soldered the end wire to the new end wire for the clip. So it's just good that I've got you know, basically 100 of these. I'll put the links in the description after I get through all this. But that was the trick there. All I had to do is extend the wire to have a different end on it. Once I did that, then the underlighting was also a problem, which everything is hooked up based on the tutorial that I had. The only thing is on these little clips, what I was finding is the connection on, let's see if I can open one of these with one hand or two. The problem is the LED, you know, the contact wasn't actually on the end there. So basically these two were connected up against the LED just fine, like on the end, the gold pieces. But that third one, which was the red, it needed to move over like a centimeter. So I basically lifted it up and I just kind of drug it over with my fingernail there. Didn't break anything, it just moved the wire. And as soon as that happened, it all just worked. I've got to head to bed here, but I'll show it all in the morning with it all on again. I can't believe it's all working. Pretty exciting. All right, so this is with everything working here. It's pretty sweet. Here, let me go ahead and minimize this stuff here. So the back glass pulls up automatically. I might get some sort of frame or something for the DMD, but I've got a color DMD files. As you can see there, you've got the speaker stuff that will change as like I'm pushing the flippers. Yeah, it's all working here. So I don't know, it's pretty sweet. I didn't think it was gonna work. As I was talking about, I had problems with the speaker output, and as soon as I flipped the input and the output on the wires, everything started working. So we've got the underlighting, as you see there, and then in the back, hopefully I can get here before it. And then the back, I've got to like obviously seal this up here, but you can see that's it. So now I got to throw away all the Amazon packages and such. We'll move on to the next step, I suppose. It might be, I don't know, securing something up against the side of the panel so that the TV, which you can see here, will be able to rest just up here. I believe I can take the metal vases and stick them on there, but for what it is, it's an expensive TV. I want this thing to be secured, and I don't know if these two on each side will do it. It might, but I've seen a couple like pivots, if that makes sense, that end up going like right in the back there, like a dowel rod or something that would hold like a sheet of wood there, and the TV would just rest on it. So you could kind of lift it up and down if you wanted to. That might be the approach that I take, but I am so glad that this stuff ended up working. I was pretty nervous, but if I can do it, you can do it. All right, something to notice is when it starts up, how the lights react. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It seems that once things are set up correctly, it will kind of flicker, well, what you're about to see just for a second here. So what I'm gonna do is, you can see I've got the PC under here, and it's in this nice little cube form. And then I've just got the mouse and the keyboard plugged up to the front for what it's worth, for now at least. But I'm gonna push the little power button here, and then what we're gonna see is the lights flickered on, kind of like sequences, and that's pretty much it. So the HD Matrix is a little unique because not all of the lights turn on, just you know, 3 blocks basically within the 3 panels. And you can see that the Octo is, or the teensy is blinking. So that's pretty much it. Once you're at that point, at least for me, I'm ready to move to the next step. Everything's working, and gonna start researching into this Cleveland boards and shakers, all that jazz, a whole nother nightmare, I'm sure. So far it's been an enjoyable experience, and let's get started.